Welcome to Breakthrough Success. I'm your host, Mark Gabberty, the content marketing expert, bringing you 5 new episodes every week where I and top-level guests teach you how to take your business to the next level and achieve your breakthrough. Hello, Breakthrough Success listeners. I just wanted you all to know before the episode actually starts, I've been working a little bit behind the scenes to give you something really special. So a while ago, I wrote my book, Content Marketing Secrets, which helps people create, promote, and optimize their content for growth and revenue. And I just put the finishing touches together to offer that for free to anyone who is interested. So if you want your free copy of Content Marketing Secrets, all you have to do is head over to markgabberty.com/book. Now, let's jump right into the episode. One of the things that we need to be successful, to be productive, is energy. And without energy, we are none of those things. So how can we stay at our peak energy state? Well, today's guest is going to share exactly how I can do that. He is the owner of Never Alone Capital, where the company's main focus is following trends for option trading strategies. And over the past 5 years, he has actually spent over $300,000 on personal development and has become an expert in the area. He works with people to get their peak energy state and helps them to become supernatural in the process. So today's guest for episode 266 of the Breakthrough Success Podcast is none other than Alan Burak. Alan, it is such a pleasure to have you on the show.
My pleasure is mine, Mark. Thanks for the introduction.
Alan, it is a pleasure to have you on the show. And
thank you.
Personal development is just something that is like, I feel like we all value it. We all understand that it's important. Like if you're listening to the show, like you're doing a little bit of that right now. But you invested over $300,000 in personal development over the past 5 years. I'm wondering, why did you decide to spend so much on it? Do you think it was worth it? And just a little more background on you as well.
Of course. Thanks, Mark. Actually, I have been spending much more than that today. And I will tell you why. Let me tell you a little bit about my background. I was born in Michigan. And at age 4 or 5, I moved to Mexico City. And then at age 12, I moved back to US, to Florida. And at age 12, age 13, I opened my first company. I was doing websites and web programming for, it was 1998, 1999, where everybody wanted to have a website. Nobody knew how to do one. But I loved reading. And I was very grateful and lucky that I was living like 3-4 blocks from Barnes & Noble. And basically, I was studying so much about web design, web development, and all that. And everybody was asking me for a website. So I started charging to make websites. 2 years later, at age 15, I have to move back to Mexico City. So I sold my company and all that money. If you have been to Barnes & Noble, next to web design and web programming, you have finance, okay? And I always wanted to make more money with the money that I had. So I started learning about finance. So as you can see, I started my personal development since I was age 13. I didn't know that at age 13, but reading is part of personal development, okay? So at age 15, I read my first book about finance, and that book said that I didn't understand 90% of what I read of that book, to be honest. But there is one thing that I really, really remember, and it was you have to invest in what you know and in what you like. So in that moment, I love books, I love technology, so I bought Amazon, okay? And it went well. It went very, very well. And a few years later, at age 19, 20, I was living in Sweden, and I went totally broke. Okay, I lost all my money, everything. I was around 20, 21 years old, and I was living by myself. It was, I remember perfectly, it was December 27. I didn't even have a place to stay. So I was in a 24/7 cafeteria by myself in Christmas Eve, and it was just me and a waiter. And I didn't have a dime in my pocket, but somehow, I had a huge aha moment. I felt so wealthy so abundant in that moment that I realized that everything that I needed is inside me. Okay. So since then, I packed to myself that I will discover how can I get much more from me, from the inside me to the out world. Okay. So since then, I have been investing 80% of my income in personal development. And fast forwarding, today, I have a multi-million dollar asset management firm, and I have a few other businesses, including a wine liquor distributor business, which I have a partner and many other partners, and it's all around the world, basically.
And I mean, I really like that story and how you mentioned 80% of your income being spent towards personal development. I mean, if you could do like 1% and 3%, 5%, 10%, you inch up. I mean, like that 10% threshold, you are
Yes,
going to really grow your money, but 80% is like a whole other ballpark, man. I can only imagine
yes.
what kind of personal
It
development you're getting.
was, to be honest, I was reading between three, four. I don't do that right now, but I was reading between three, four books per week. I was going to at least three seminars per month, six networking events per month. I needed to travel at least twice per month somewhere, somehow, to only meet people and to meet people that knew about finance, and it was like smarter than me, you know? So I was looking at my circle of influence, where to find them. And I have a saying that says that successful people are not lucky. They're basically they are doing something that we are not doing. So I love to go out and see successful people and model them. They're doing something right, right? So you have to go and see the recipe that they are using, and then you have to use it to your own self and see if it works or if it doesn't work to you or for you.
And I mean, I like that idea of modeling successful people. I feel like we should all be doing that. And we don't have to necessarily copy them. It's just seeing what works for them and applying that in our own way. But you mentioned that recipe of successful people. And I know you've modeled a few people, you've gone really deep into personal development. So, what do you believe are like some of the key like elements, traits, habits that successful people tend to possess?
Whew. After watching, learning, and today I'm grateful of now I have been talking to people that I really like, Tony Robbins, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Donnie Epps, and they are in my circle of influence now. And they have tell me that, well, not only I model them, but I will say that the number one thing you have to have is the correct psychology and the correct mindset, no matter what. You have to control your emotions and your mind. If you control your emotions and your mind, you are basically you're already the 1% of the 1% of the population. Okay, that will second when you start controlling your mindset and your psychology. Second, you need to have clarity of what exactly do you want. Okay, so as I say in the beginning, first you have to know yourself. You have to control your mindset. You have to control your emotions. Okay, you have to control your psychology. Second, you have to know exactly what you want. And third, and this every single person that I have met, I have read, everything has it. Massive action, and they don't see failure as a failure, they see failure as an advantage. Okay? Everybody has failed thousands of times, thousands of times, okay? But what happens when they fail, instead of going back and regret it or something, they learn what they did. And then the only thing they do is change the strategy, but they do not change their goal. They know exactly, they have so much clarity of what they want, that the only thing they are changing is the strategy of how to get there. Okay? So basically, that's the key for success. I have seen it in every single industry with every single person. You need to have a strong mindset. You need to have a strong psychology, know what you want, and take action of it.
And on that theme of massive action, I mean, it's something that I feel like we all know is really important to do, but sometimes it could feel a little difficult. Like some days we have a little more energy than other days. So I'm wondering how exactly can we achieve
Yes.
the peak energy state and actually stay there also?
Yeah, you touch a very important aspect of life. You know, most of the people thinks that energy is just to go out to the gym and to go to the, or just to make a project. But as you can see, most people is after 1, 2, 3 p.m. they are tired. They cannot even go back to their office. At night, they are not. If you see the parents' relationship, etc., the person that is working the whole day, they just go back to their home, and the only thing they want to do is to sit, watch TV, and they don't even talk to their wife, husband, kid, etc. So to have peak energy state, again, everything comes from the mindset, okay? And you need to have it. It's a long, long list, but it all starts from your habits and your rituals and your routines, okay? It's the way you control your own self, the way you sleep, the way you eat, the way you walk, your talk, the way you work, the way you, it's basically your lifestyle, okay? So if I could put it very easy, I will give you an example of what I do in my daily basis. And I think that this will help your audience to understand exactly where the energy comes, okay? So first of all, every morning, after, and what I'm going to tell you is not something that I'm just inventing, it's something that I learned from so many people and investing around already not 300,000, but almost $1 million, okay? So let me tell you, first of all, I wake up around 5, 6 a.m. in the morning, okay? And the first thing I do, no matter what, the first thing I do is to drink water. Why water? Because 80% of your body is water. You need to hydrate that body so it can function properly, okay? And if you want to hack that water, put some salt water and lemon, okay? Then after that, I always meditate for 20 minutes, no more than 20, 25 minutes. And it's a very simple meditation. It's just I just have a breathing pattern, like a 2 minute pattern, like just to be in peace with myself. Then another 2, 3 minutes, I start a gratitude meditation. I'm just thankful of everything. Whatever comes to my mind, I'm grateful for my face. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my mom. I'm grateful because I'm alive, etc. And then comes the most important part. And this is key for success for your day. You have to visualize in the next 5, 6 minutes, what do you want? That's why you need to have massive clarity, okay? You have to visualize what do you want to accomplish in that day. And to make it easier, you just have to talk about 2 main goals that you want to accomplish that day, 2 main goals that you want to accomplish that week, and 2 main goals that you want to accomplish that month / that year, okay? And just visualize that you are doing it, that you already won, that you already did your goals, okay? And then at the end, I'm just starting to, the last 3, 4 minutes, I'm just asking whoever you want, God, energy, whatever, to heal my body, my soul, my spirit, my presence, and I'm also asking that energy to help me for the day, and that's it. And the last 30 seconds is just some breathing again, so while I open my eyes, okay? After that, okay, most people think that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And actually, I will say the contrary. Most successful people, they don't have breakfast. That's something to talk about, right? The only thing they have, to be honest, is just like a small green juice or a little bit of fat, okay? People think that fat makes you fat, and that's not true. Okay, fat actually makes you skinny if you know how to use that fat correctly. And actually, it gives you massive energy, okay? So basically, for breakfast, I only have I have a green smoothie, and I put some coconut oil, like fat, avocado oil, coconut oil, MCT oil, whatever it's called. And then and then it depends. I go 30, 40 minutes to the gym, And then I start my day. I'm in the asset management firm, and today, I'm so grateful that I can work anywhere around the world. I love traveling. Traveling is my passion, so I try to travel at least once per month somewhere around the world, and I can work from home, from my office, from a cruise, from a jet, from anywhere I can. Okay, so I basically focus 2-3 hours, and when I say focus 2-3 hours, is that you are only doing what you visualize in your meditation. Okay, because if you start to be interrupted by messages, by talking, etc., that will drain you energy. Okay, just focus 2-3 hours, massive 2-3 hours. Okay, and then have a nice lunch. You can have some protein, some protein and some fat and some greens to alkaline your body. And then at the end of the day, don't eat that much. You need to have you need to have like at least 4 or 5 hour fasting. Okay, for your body. Okay, and then at 7-8 p.m. you can have like a protein shake, a big dinner with a lot of protein and salads. You know, I will tell you to avoid carbohydrates. I will tell you to avoid sugar. Okay, sugar is the killer of success. And at the end, I just write my goals of what I did and what I want to do for the next day. And basically, I gave you in 5 minutes the success formula that 80% of the success people does. They wake up early, they meditate, they have a very relaxed breakfast, they have a normal lunch with a lot of fat and protein. They enjoy their day by being with their loved / nice circle of influence where they can grow. And at the end, they don't have a big dinner. They only have like a good protein, like a salmon, like a nice chicken, etc., with lots of salads, and that's it, bro. That's it.
And I really find the food breakdown very interesting because I feel like a lot of people think that you need a really strong breakfast, and it can be just like that light shake that gives you that level of energy, or just something very it's just like, I mean, as you mentioned, just like the level of planning that goes into it is something really incredible. And like with the peak energy, like I feel like so many people want to have that level of energy where they're able to plow through, take all the action, wake up at 6 a.m. strong, stay strong past 8 p.m. But what do you believe holds most people back from being able to reach that peak energy state?
Very simple. They have no clarity and they don't have a higher purpose. Believe me, as soon as I got a higher purpose, I stopped snoozing my alarm clock in the mornings. You know, I always wake up, I meditate, I have my cold shower, etc. I to mention the cold shower. I always have a 1-minute cold shower. Most successful people does, because it's not about your body, but it's more about controlling the mind. The mind is here to protect you. Okay. So when you go to the cold water, the mind is telling you, don't do it, you're going to suffer. And you say, you know what, mind, I don't care what you're saying, I'm going to do it anyway. And that's the way you have to start the day. But answering your question, basically you have to have a higher purpose than yourself and have clarity of what you want in life. Believe me, as soon as you wake up, okay, and if you have a higher purpose, and a higher purpose can be, you know what, I'm waking up to give more to my wife. I'm here to give more, open 2 more charities. You know what, I'm here to impact 1 billion people, 2 billion people. I want to feed the entire world. If you have those kind of purposes in life, nothing will stop you. But when you have that high purpose, you need to have massive clarity on how to get there. Okay? Don't mind about the strategy. The strategies will come. Okay? First, you have to know what you want. What's your real purpose? Okay? The second, why? Why do you want to do what you're doing? Okay? And third comes the strategies. If they don't work, you change the strategies, but don't change your purpose. Your purpose is there to help you elevate yourself. And just by having that elevation, you will automatically start having energy, because the universe is going to be helping you, believe me.
And I mean, I find like, I mean, you talked about the cold shower, which I mean, I really liked that, how you kind of have to like rewire your mind in a sense to get it ready for approaching that level of massive action. And I mean, in the end, it really does come back to the mindset that we have for how much we are able to accomplish and how much energy we have. And I feel like one of the things that can drain on our energy is like we all face certain challenges throughout the journey. So I'm wondering if you could share with us a big challenge you faced in your journey and a powerful lesson you learned during that challenge.
Wow, so many. First, well, when I have no money. Second, and I feel that your audience will love this, and I feel that you already are in this process, is your circle of influence, correct? You will have so many people, like your friends, family, XYZ, holding you back, okay? You have to be strong enough of knowing exactly what you want to know who you have to let go, okay, in your life. So one of the challenges that I truly had in Mexico, I was living in a very close society, and it's hard to let go. So my biggest challenge was let go that society, in the sense that they basically don't let you go, okay? They were only talking bad things about me. They were just telling me, oh, you're leaving us, huh? So you feel you're special, huh? The naysayers, no, the critics, all those guys. It was a moment in my life that I was starting finally to overcome my financials, my financial freedom, and everybody was like against me, you know. Today I can tell you that all that people is coming to me to ask me for advice, okay? But at the beginning it's tough, it's hard, because I had to let go part of my family. I had to let go. Right now I'm living in New York, okay? I moved from there. I moved from Mexico to New York, okay? And it was hard to leave part of the family and part of some of my friends. But at the end, it all adds up, because if you know exactly what you want, again, clarity is so strong that it will bring back your friends in a way that they can be like. Let me put it this way: you can love them, but that means that you don't have to be with them. You know, you can love anybody, but that doesn't mean that you have to be with them. And that's exactly what they know. You know, I only spend time with people that gives me energy, that makes me go high, that makes me think about things, and makes me a better person. You know, and because the only thing that we don't have, that we cannot replace, is time. So you have to protect your time very carefully.
And I really like that theme of protecting your time. Sometimes it could be some like really like, I mean, in your case, leaving community behind to pursue your destination. You were very clear on that, which is why you were able to do that. But one of the things that I also want to ask you is a little further on this theme of challenges that we face. There's a point where like the challenge has come for some people, like it's a really horrendous challenge that you wish never came your way, like something different from most of the other challenges. So how can we get better at rebounding from a challenge that we just encountered?
Yes. First of all, it's all about psychology here. Okay. When I had when I had those challenges in the beginning, I didn't know this. Okay, but it's all psychology. 80% is psychology. It's the way you focus at it. You know. Let me put you on a little exercise. Okay. I will say that just imagine your biggest challenge that you had in the last 3 months. Okay, and then picture that challenge, and just make a zoom out of that challenge that makes it smaller. Okay, and then at the same time bring something great that happened in the last 3 months and zoom in that image. Okay, at the end you will see that that little challenge, it was just a plateau. It was just something to make you better. You know, thanks to that challenge, you are where you are today. Without challenges, we will be boring. Like without uncertainty, we cannot grow. Okay, we need uncertainty to grow, and challenges are those kind of uncertainties. And I have to tell you that successful people are successful because they know how to approach challenges. They love challenges. They love risks. They love to grow. But the question is how you approach to those challenges. Successful people, what they do is basically the challenge comes. If they fail, okay, why did I fail? How can I improve myself? It's not how do I improve the circumstance. It's how do I improve myself to overcome the circumstance. Okay, most people is, I hope this doesn't happen to me again. Or I hope this, I hope that. Successful people doesn't hope. They become better. So when that challenge comes again, it's so small that that challenge doesn't even touch them, and they raise their standards and they became better towards that challenge. And now they are approaching to new, better challenges. But let me put it this way: the journey that you want to become successful is you want to have amazing problems. You don't want to have small problems. You want to have big, amazing, juicy problems. Okay? Because those problems are going to make you a better human being. They're going to make you grow. They're going to make you better. And with that, there is nothing that can touch you. That's where the 1% of the successful people lives. They are there because they have been in so much challenges and in so much pain and in so much problems that they know how to act. And if they don't know how to act, they know the person that can help them to act, because they know very well how to delegate.
And it's interesting how you mentioned you want to have these amazing kind of problems. And I see it a little bit in like other people. Like I've had some like really big challenges, and like looking at those big challenges, like all the ones that come in my way, I look at one of the big challenges I faced, and the other one's just pale in comparison. So you can it helps when you're able to look at what you've done in the past to overcome some of the things that have come your way. And earlier you mentioned how much money you've spent on personal development. Now we know it's the figure is closer to $1 million than it is to 300,000. But I mean, with so many books that you've read, I'm wondering if you could share with us just 3 of them that you believe will have a positive impact on us.
Wow. Well, one of my top books that basically helps you to find a purpose. I heard that you are also a good reader, that you like to read. Probably you already read it. You will let me know. It's a book. The title of the book is Man's Search of Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Have you read that book?
I've heard it so many times on the show. I know what it's about, but not yet.
Okay. Read that book. I recommend that book from my heart. It's one of my top 5 favorite. That book will basically make all your problems small. Okay.
Oh yeah, I know the books. Yeah, that'll make your problems small.
That will make all your problems that you have today, if it's with your wife, your girlfriend, your job, your studies, whatever, it's nothing. Okay, and it will help you find a true purpose in life. Another one, I will say, another one that any entrepreneur needs to read, no matter what. No matter what, it's like a recipe to go. And it's not only to read, because I always say that most people say knowledge is power. And I say that knowledge is not power. It's power when you use that knowledge. Okay, that's why I stopped reading so many books, because you cannot apply everything you read. Okay, so I'm very careful to what I read. Okay, so I only read things that I feel that it can empower me. But this is a book that definitely an entrepreneur can read, which is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I think that you already read that.
That one I've read.
Yeah, it's an amazing book. And another book about energy, that I recommend a lot. I don't know if you have heard about Dr. Joe Dispenza. He has many books, but one of the books that I recommend is the name of the book is Supernatural. Becoming supernatural, sorry.
I haven't heard of that one yet, but we will include all of those in the show notes at markberry.com/E266. We'll also throw in Podcast Domination, which is my book, which will help you if you want to launch, grow, and monetize your own podcast, just like Breakthrough Success. And Alan, before we wrap up this episode, I've asked you several questions throughout our time together, but what do you believe is one question that we need to be asking ourselves more often?
What outcome do I want at this precise moment? Okay. For example, if you go out, if someone asks, it comes all the time to protect your time. Okay. If you have a call and some friends ask you, hey, let's go out, then you have to ask yourself, what's the outcome of this meeting, of this going out? Am I going to grow? I'm going to improve? It's going to make me a better person? Yes, no, it's just to waste my time, whatever you want. Okay, but always ask yourself, what's your outcome? When you're in a meeting, before even starting the meeting, ask the people that are surrounding that meeting, what's the outcome of that meeting? And it's funny, nobody knows the outcome. They just want to go there and make presentations and talk, So whenever they don't know the outcome, why would you be there? It's a waste of time. So every time, whatever you're doing, ask yourself, what's the outcome of what I'm doing right now? What's the outcome of this circumstance, of this situation? And that will help you, give you more purpose and more energy and more clarity to your life.
Alan, thanks for sharing with us that great question. A very great results-based question where you're really thinking about what are you getting from this outcome, as Alan pointed out. So thank you for that and for sharing all of your great insights throughout our time together. Alan helps people, as mentioned before, achieve that level of peak performance and peak energy. And for anyone wondering, Alan, where can we find you on the web?
Yes, I have you can find me on my Instagram, in my Twitter, I'm launching a book in 2019. I'm in my personal website and in Facebook. I'm all over around.
Alan, thank you for sharing with us a few places where we can find you and for sharing all of your great insights on Breakthrough Success. It was such a pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
How does over 100 retweets per day sound to you? My free ebook, 27 Ways to Get More Retweets on Twitter, has you covered. I use the methods within this ebook to get over 10,000 retweets every single quarter. To learn